The shoulder patch worn on a military uniform is important to soldiers and veterans because each of those colorful patches has a history behind it. When you become part of a military unit, you become part of its story, part of the history behind the patch. Hi, I'm Jim Bromley, and this is the Roving Historian channel. Here's my disclaimer. As a rule, Marines don't wear shoulder patches on their uniforms. There were 6 Marine divisions formed during World War II, and they did wear shoulder patches back then. After the war, the Marine Corps stopped the practice of wearing shoulder sleeve insignia because they believed it fostered a sense of disunity within the Corps, which prides itself on being a unified body. In other words, every Marine is a Marine first. However, the division patches were and are still used on organizational equipment, signs, and graphics. Moreover, this is part of a series, and I wanted to include the Marine Corps. So this video is a summary history of the 3rd Marine Division, nicknamed the Fighting Third, during the Vietnam War. The 3rd Marine Division was activated on September 16, 1942 at Camp Elliott in San Diego, California. The Fighting Third has an exceptional record from World War II that includes campaigns on Bougainville, Guam, and Iwo Jima. After the war, in March of 1956, the 3rd Marine Division was moved to Okinawa and remained there until their deployment to Vietnam in 1965. On May 6, 1965, the 3rd Marine Division opened the Marine compound at the Da Nang Air Base in Vietnam. The original mission of the Marines in Vietnam was to protect the American Air Base. However, as the United States' role in Vietnam expanded, the units of the 3rd Marine Division were given permission to run offensive operations in areas that were critical to the security of American bases. The Fighting Third's division headquarters operated in Vietnam from May of 1965. 3rd MARDIV elements participated in operations from Da Nang to Phu Bai to Quang Tri to Dong Ha combat bases. By the end of 1965, all the division's subordinate elements were in Vietnam, including the 3rd, 4th, and 9th Marine Regiments. The 3rd Marine Division's first major fight was Operation Starlight and the Battle of Chu Lai in the Quang Ngai province. It lasted from August 18th to the 21st in 1965. The heavy fighting resulted in 700 enemy dead, weighed against an expensive 242 Marines killed in action. However, the operation demonstrated what the Marines could do when the enemy met them in a stand-up fight. The 3rd Marine Division is probably best known for defending strong points near the Demilitarized Zone, or DMZ, between South and North Vietnam. In late 1966, the division headquarters moved to Phu Bai and built camps at Con Thien, Gio Linh, Cam Lo, and Dong Ha. The area became known as Leatherneck Square, and from these base camps, operations were launched against the NVA, making incursions across the DMZ. In late 1967, division headquarters moved to Dong Ha, and 4 more outposts were opened: Camp Carroll, the Rock Pile, Tu La, and Khe Sanh. During the 1968 Tet Offensive, a portion of the division fought in the Battle of Hue, while the rest conducted operations along the DMZ against the offensive operations of the NVA and the VC. At the time, 3rd Marine Division intelligence estimated the combat strength of the NVA and Viet Cong forces in the DMZ area was over 40,000 troops. The enemy stepped up their attacks on every combat base in the division area of operations, but the defense of Con Thien and Khe Sanh became prominent in the military history of the Vietnam War. During their over 4 years of continuous combat operations, the 3rd MARDIV lost more than 3,000 Marines killed in action. 32 Marines of the 3rd Division were awarded the Medal of Honor during the Vietnam War. The division departed Vietnam in November of 1969 and moved to Camp Courtney, Okinawa. Today, the 3rd Marine Division remains home-based on the island of Okinawa, Japan. Part of the 3rd Marine Expeditionary Force, the Fighting Third also operates the Jungle Warfare Training Center at Camp Gonsalves on Okinawa. Currently, the 3rd MARDIV subordinate units are the 3rd Marine Littoral Regiment, the 4th Marine Regiment, the 12th Marine Littoral Regiment, the 3rd Reconnaissance Battalion, the 3rd Battalion 12th Marines, and Headquarters Battalion. 3rd Marine Division's mission is to remain forward deployed in the Western Pacific region, ready to secure, seize, or defend key maritime terrain. The Marines of the Fighting Third continue, as they have during their entire history, to live their motto, fidelity, valor, and honor. If you'd like to read about the 3rd Marine Division in the Vietnam War, I recommend reading Siege of Khe Sanh, the story of the Vietnam War's largest battle by Robert Pizer. This book is about the 4-month siege in 1968. You'll read about decisions made at the highest levels of government on both sides of the conflict, as well as getting a Marine's eye view of the largest battle in the war. An Amazon affiliate link to Siege of Khe Sanh is in the description below. If you enjoyed this History Behind the Patch video, I hope you'll hit the like button and leave us a comment. Especially if you're a veteran of the 3rd Marine Division, tell us about your service. You can swing by the channel to find more, and please subscribe so you won't miss out on future videos and help us build our channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.